In 2025, the world's largest economy is wobbling. The United States, long the engine of global consumption, innovation, and employment, is facing its deepest economic contraction since the Great Depression. Rising national debt, stagnating productivity, and the aftershocks of multiple financial crises have triggered what some analysts are calling America a structural slowdown. But while Wall Street braces for impact, another region is quietly taking center stage. Africa, the world's youngest continent, home to more than 1.4 billion people, is emerging as the planet's new job capital. A once doubted frontier is now being described by the World Bank as the most dynamic labor market of the 21st century. This is not a story of charity or chance. It's a story of demographics, data, and deliberate design, a continental pivot built on resilience, technology, and a radical shift in global economics. In 2024, the U.S. Congressional Budget Office warned that America's public debt had surpassed $37.8 trillion, roughly 140% of GDP, the highest in modern history. The IMF's April 2025 World Economic Outlook projected U.S. growth at 1.1%, barely outpacing inflation, while unemployment ticked upward for the first time in a decade. Manufacturing jobs that once defined the American dream are increasingly automated or outsourced. In contrast, Africa's labor force is expanding by more than 12 million people every year, according to the International Labor Organization. Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, president of the African Development Bank (AFDB), summarized it best at the 2025 Africa Investment Forum. Africa is not the next frontier, it is the now frontier. The world's future workforce will be African. While the U.S. sheds jobs in advanced sectors, African nations are absorbing them, from digital outsourcing in Kenya to solar manufacturing in Egypt. Half of Africa's population is under the age of 19. By 2040, the continent will have the largest workforce on Earth, over 1.1 billion people. That's more than India or China. The World Bank's Africa Pulse Report 2025 reveals that 11 of the world's 20 fastest growing economies are African. Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, Ethiopia, and Senegal all posted growth rates above 5%. Despite a global slowdown, governments are responding with bold policy shifts. Rwanda's Kigali Innovation City is grooming 50,000 STEM graduates by 2030. Nigeria's National Talent Export Program, launched 2024, aims to train 1 million tech professionals for global remote work. Ghana's You Start initiative has funded 30,000 youth-led startups since 2022. Economist Vera Song, former UN Under-Secretary General, told Al Jazeera recently, "For the first time, Africa is exporting skills, not just raw materials. The shift is visible on the ground." In Nairobi, the Konza Technopolis project employs 70,000 people across AI, data services, and logistics hubs, many contracted by U.S. and European firms downsizing back home. Capital follows opportunity, and note where is opportunity rising faster than across Africa's emerging markets. According to the AFDB's 2025 Outlook, private investment inflows into Africa topped $98 billion in 2024, up 26% year-on-year. Foreign direct investment from the U.S. declined 11%, while Asia and the Middle East surged ahead, with China, India, and the UAE now Africa's top 3 bilateral investors. Major global firms are also pivoting. Microsoft expanded its Africa Development Center in Lagos and Nairobi, employing over 2,000 engineers. Tesla Energy announced a partnership with South Africa's Eskom to pilot lithium storage grids across the SADC region. Amazon Web Services opened its Cape Town AWS region, serving the entire sub-Saharan cloud market. Meanwhile, intra-African trade, long hampered by border inefficiencies, is exploding under the African Continental Free Trade Area (AFCFTA). The World Bank estimates it could lift 50 million people out of poverty by 2035 and boost collective income by $450 billion. The International Labor Organization reports that while global employment growth slowed to 0.9%, sub-Saharan Africa grew 3.4%, adding more than 15 million jobs in 2024 alone. Sectors driving this surge include renewable energy, employing 1.3 million across 10 countries, agri-processing, creating 4.5 million jobs annually, digital services, expanding 11% year-on-year. Take Kenya as Silicon Savannah, a $1.2 billion mobile fintech industry that now employs over 250,000 people. Or Morocco's automotive sector, now Africa's largest, exporting $14 billion in EV components in 2024. According to the ILO's 2025 Future of Work report, Africa will supply nearly 40% of the world's new workers by 2030. While the West faces labor shortages, Africa's population boom becomes an unmatched advantage if nations can harness skills and infrastructure fast enough. But growth is not without friction. Youth unemployment still hovers around 12% in sub-Saharan Africa, according to the AFDB. Energy access, logistics bottlenecks, and governance gaps remain obstacles. Economist Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Director General of the WTO, cautions, Africa's rise will be determined not by potential, but by policy. The continent must manufacture, not merely mine, its future, to sustain momentum. Regional blocs like ECOWAS and SADC are aligning industrial policies, while public-private partnerships target education, green tech, and digital infrastructure. As America recalibrates, global manufacturing and service chains are redrawing themselves. Analysts at Goldman Sachs Global Research predict that by 2030, Africa could host 17 of the world's 25 fastest-growing labor markets. Meanwhile, African diasporas are returning. The IOM reports over 400,000 skilled professionals have relocated back to Africa since 2022, from Silicon Valley engineers to London-trained economists. In Lagos, a Ritterny tech founder puts it simply, the future in coming to Africa. The future is coming from Africa. America's economic collapse didn't end globalization, it rerouted it. And in that rerouting, Africa found its moment, not as a victim of global trends, but as an architect of a new one. From AI labs in Kigali to solar farms in Morocco, from fintech hubs in Accra to green steel plants in Zambia, the story of global work is being rewritten. The next century of labor, innovation, and prosperity will speak with an African accent, and the world is finally listening.